Hello, my name is Joe Cabrera. I'm recording the final speech for Professor Stein's class. These are my 5 adults here in attendance, some kids. So the final speech, someone who has impacted my life. The title is An Individual's Impact. I have scoured the archives of my memory in search of an appropriate person to commemorate for my final speech. After much brain-racking deliberation, I believe to have landed on the perfect choice. Person who has made a significant impact on my life, as well as the lives of many others, is none other than my stepmom, Amber Marinello Cabrera, who is pictured on this poster and is also present in the audience, so give her a round. Give her a hand. Encore, encore. And since this comes as a surprise, I imagine she'll be a blubbering puddle before we reach the end. So, well, people, she is a beacon. A supreme example of selflessness and tenacity in a world where a lot of connections fail to last and a lot of ties, whether forged through blood or kinship, do not hold up well against the breaching tides of time. Well, like in a raft tossed out in the open ocean, Amber has thrown me many opportunities to prevent me from sinking on a countless number of occasions. She has always been there for anyone in need, no matter who they are or how cumbersome their situation appears to be. Throughout her life, she has made great sacrifices and never considered it an act of kindness that warranted a return, but rather regarded it as somewhat of a requisite of familial loyalty. One particular example stands out that was born from a tragedy. It is not so much an isolated incident that stands out, but it is rather one that showcases how she is consistently present for everyone in her life. 7 years ago, due to cancer, I lost my father and she, her husband, pictured here. We were both traveling along the arduous road of grief. Right there. Well, it was enormously helpful to have a companion to confide in and to share openly with someone who knew him well and was also experiencing the extremity of loss as intensely as I was. There was never any pressure put on either of us to compartmentalize our bereavement and move onward or just get over it. There was no grandiose sweeping gesture to showcase her support. I simply knew and understood that she was always there in my corner rooting for me, which I preferred, and it also emboldened me to pursue my interests and passions with much gusto in the face of some pretty severe obstacles. When I think of Amber, the Eleanor Roosevelt quote comes to mind. A woman is like a tea bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water. Ever since we met, a whole 15 years ago, when I was a mere impressionable 12 years old, I have never heard her utter an unkind remark directed toward anyone. We all have our moments, but she manages to see the silver lining in every scenario possible. An enthusiasm and optimism that is always welcome and unfailingly infectious. It also begs to be mentioned that this whole time she has been raising 3 young boys virtually by herself with the aid of some relatives. Which is such a demanding job that it alone could earn her a nomination as someone to be admired. Well, challenging times, people, call for extra tough people that have the grit and perseverance to continually strive for more agreeable conditions in the face of some pretty severe obstacles without an audience constantly there to cheer them on. They simply do it for themselves and for the sake of others. It hasn't always been easy, but a carefree lifestyle, then again, doesn't allow for someone's character to shine through. I have been fortunate enough to witness firsthand Amber's true nature rise to the occasion and turn plenteous adversarial circumstances into yet another link in the chain of personal victories. The celebrity chef and journeyman entrepreneur, his statement summed up my sentiments exactly when he said, "My family's journey is something that I'm proud of, both in front of me, behind me, and every part of the way. You know, her actions and gestures are a small step to some, but it means a giant leap to those around her." So that is why I elected Amber Marinello Cabrera as a candidate for someone who leaves a deep impact the size of a caldera on the lives of others. Once you meet her, you will not forget her attributes. I hope and aspire to someday be as caring, giving, virtuous, and inspiring as her. Thank you for being a tremendously positive presence in my life. Thank you for being a magnificent mother to my brothers and a wonderful wife to my father in his final days. You deserve much more than a measly 5-minute speech, but since that is all I have to work with at the moment, this was all entirely for you. So thank you, and thank you.